Was smoking all my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. We're gonna speak about a deeper topic today. Uh, this one is of a known Chicago rapper named FBG Butta, and this is a little bit of footage. I'm not gonna play it all, but this is a little bit of footage of him crying when he got arrested, and you know, it. The reason why it touched me was because it's like so many people, so many of these kids, right? And I'm 30 years old, so I'm sure me and Butter we around the same age. But so many of these younger men, right? Young men, they don't really, the ones that grow up in certain environments don't really get the opportunity to develop how they should. Even if you do, make it out of certain circumstances, it still can take a lifetime to reprogram your subconscious so that you can react to things in a healthy manner. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this so y'all can kind of understand where I'm coming from. So I guess he was arrested, kicked out his mom's house, something like that. I'm not sure the exact backstory, but his main concern is really his children, right?
Oh man, go man. My mama all like that.
Okay. You don't have anywhere else you could
My
say?
mama all like that. My mama,
Laces on?
my mama all like that.
He's gonna take your laces off.
Y'all see me chill. In front of my daughter and my
Sit down, man.
14-year-old.
Sit down. We were just talking.
I'm gonna stop it right there. That was posted by 16 Shot 'em Visuals. But okay, so it touched me. Him saying my mom all I got, like him losing. Like this is somebody who like he lost a lot of his friends, a lot of traumatic experiences. A lot of people were murdered. Now this isn't to me to paint him as an angel. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying it's a big problem. It's a big problem in America. Obviously, it starts at home. People have to raise their kids, and as men, we have to start sacrificing. We have to start sacrificing. What I mean by that is we got to start working hard or do things to make sure that our next generations are okay, right? And that sacrifice may come with maybe you have to work that job, maybe you have to do certain things just to make sure that you get your foundation in order. Grind hard to be that homeowner, to be that landowner, so you can pass that to your kids, so you can teach them the proper way. Well, but it takes a lot of working on self, because it's just sad to see, because it's like with these Chicago rappers, you see so much of them dissing each other, literally talk about killing each other. I remember when Chief Keef first went viral back in like 2010, 11, you'd see these guys tweet like about literally murders all the, like, just, I'm not saying Chief Keef did that, but I'm saying like you would see in that whole scene, that Chicago drill scene, you see guys just talking about murder. And you know um it's sad to see, because it's like, these guys, you hear about the murdering each other, you hear about this and that, or they're bragging about it in songs, but then it's like when actual grown men, police officers, when they come in and they take you, and that's all you got. Look at, in this situation, all he's got to even hear him out. He doesn't have his boys to hear him out. He has that officer, those cops right there. That should tell you something. It's crazy it is to say that. I'm not saying that they're on his side. I'm not saying that they can't be crooked. I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying right now in that moment, that's who he's pleading with. He can't put his hands on them like he can someone else from the same neighborhood that's from a couple blocks away. You get what I'm saying? So really, the big picture that I'm putting out there is how much nonsense that is. That all these people just be at, these young people be at war with each other. And the sad thing is it really be undeveloped, because it's like most of the times when you hear older dudes brag about the things they did when they were younger, you really got to understand, right? They're speaking from a place of when they was undeveloped, literally. When they were not developed, they didn't have critical thinking skills. They couldn't communicate how they should. They were very impulsive. Like, that's what they bragging about. Those times, literally mentally still a child. people should be focused on, like, I'm not going to say what people should be focused on, but I'm just saying, if you as a man see this video, this right here should let you know, focus on what's important. You know, FBG Butta, he denounced being in a gang recently. He denounced a lot of things, which I tip my hat off to, because that's respectable. But ain't no telling how he was raised. And when you're raised a certain way, that does have a crazy effect. I'm not saying to make excuses, but it does have an effect. You know, people, what I'm saying is, it starts at home. People got to raise their children. If you leave your children in a messed up environment, if you're living in freaking East St. Louis and you have the means to move out and you're not, or somewhere crazy, somewhere like Baltimore in the middle of a freaking warfare, and you have the means to go, you have the means, or at least get your children out, and you don't, then yes, that is child abuse to me. That is selfish. You know, at least try to make it better for them kids so they could be raised properly. So that they could get different perspective outside of a crab in a barrel, just ghetto mentality, you know? Because ain't no telling what type of talent, you know, it's probably Michael Jacksons and Princes and who am I thinking of right now? What can I Mariah Carey's and uh all type of stars that don't get a chance because they be raised so messed up, and then a chemical imbalance. That's something we could talk about too, because a lot of people's parents don't did drugs, so they was already corrupted in that, while they was already a seed, while they was already in that womb. They already had things off a chemical imbalance, right? So when you got these kids that you're hearing about, oh man, this is a big murderer, the toughest murderer, and you're hearing these things, you're literally talking about somebody who maybe have a chemical imbalance in their brain, who really may be like, and then being taught, certain things, and not having different perspective, and being brainwashed to think that other people in your neighborhood are in across 2 blocks away are your enemy because of things that have been going on before you were born, and it's happening on both sides. You just have a big giant mess at that, but just a mess. Sure, you have those rare people who their soul is a little bit different, and they're still able to rise out them circumstances and go and be something else. You have that, and if you and hopefully someone like that comments on this video, because I definitely want to tip my hat off to you and say congratulations, because you passed the test that the majority of people don't pass. That's like making it through the jungle, getting dropped off in the jungle right now at night. You got everything against you. Somehow you make it out that jungle with lions and all type of stuff in there, just waiting to swallow you up. Because imagine being born to a mom that, is, she's already she's already dealing with so much trauma. Then your father already dealing with so much trauma, or may not be there, and then you raise an environment like that. What type of things is you're going to pick up as a kid? What type of, you get what I'm saying? Subconsciously, you're always going to look at people who come from the same struggle as you, or identify a certain way, as an enemy. That's a problem, right? Even people, just how I'm talking right now, there's people from these neighborhoods, excuse me, that look at me and be like, man, he's kind of corny. He's kind of, because I'm not talking using the slang. I'm not talking a certain way. Sure, I could do that. I could, but a lot of people they don't have that different perspective on life, right? To a lot of these kids, to them, their goal is being rich and, living somewhere maybe in Beverly Hills, or just riding, designer clothes and things that ultimately don't even help their growth, their soul, don't help with any of that. But it definitely hits when I hear him say, "My mama is all I got." That hits deep, that really does. That, I'm not even gonna lie, that hits deep. That does. If you got a heart, you'll definitely feel that. But I just wish the best for him, to see him, like I said in a recent video, to see him talk about, to see him denounce gang activity, see him just pretty much, he wants to focus on growth. I mean, I heard the man say he doesn't even allow his kids to have toy guns, So it's like, this is somebody who he's trying to reprogram his subconscious. Of course, he's not going to be perfect. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lifetime. But he wants to see better for his kids, So, man, I definitely wish you the best. I definitely wish you the best. Anybody that's laughing at things like this, anybody that's talking about, just trying to down somebody like this, honestly, grow up. Just grow up. Seriously, just grow up. Because, to be honest with you, a lot of us can a lot of people can sit here and talk, but that doesn't mean you would have survived a quarter of what someone like that has been through in their life. You could say this, you could say that, you could talk this, you could talk that, but that doesn't mean you would have survived. It ain't no telling what you would have been if you had to walk a mile in somebody like that shoes, right? That's why I'm wishing him the best, and I would say, if you see this, man, focus, brother. If you see this and get that, go for home ownership. Go for owning your own land. Go for things. Get a gun license if you can. If not, hey, you can still be a homeowner. You can still, go for being able to have your own, right? Because as you can see, when rock bottom comes, ain't gonna be ain't gonna be much people you could count on. Ain't gonna be much people you could count on, man. This hits my heart. I wish everybody out there the best. I don't care if you out in some ghetto in Japan, some Romania, wherever you come across this video, the UK, out in London, Manchester, all these places, South Africa, West Africa. If you were born in circumstances where, you know, everything was pretty much against you, and you now realizing that at an older age, and you survived those things, and you want to grow and you want to change, salute, because you different. With that being said, much love. If you guys want more videos like this, definitely hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell. All credit goes to, as far as the video, I only played a little bit, goes to 16 shot and visuals. Definitely not trying to take no one's content here, just giving my reactions. And with that being said, much love to everybody.